All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining us. And before I begin, I would like to start today off with a land acknowledgement. So while you may be joining us from all over the world, I am here in London, Ontario, where Western's campus is located. The university campus is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee, the Lenape, and the Chinook-Tongue nations. I'm grateful to be able to live, learn, and play on these lands. Before we get into the reason for why you're all probably here, we're going to go through a couple housekeeping items. So the first is that we do have live closed captioning enabled for this webinar. If you'd like to turn it on, you can find the live transcript button at the bottom of the screen. And then you can choose show subtitle or view full transcript. This is live full captioning though, so we cannot guarantee the accuracy. And as you've probably figured out already, your video and your audio are going to remain off today, and the chat has been disabled. But that does not mean we're not going to be interacting this entire time. There are going to be polls throughout the presentation that you can participate in. We hope that you do. And we also want to answer all of your questions. So you can submit a question using the Q&A box, and you'll find this at the bottom of your screen. You can enter questions now or anytime throughout the presentation, and someone from Western will get back to you. Um, just a tip for those questions, be as specific as possible. Specific questions get specific answers. This might mean saying the program you're interested in, letting us know if you're a high school student, and if you are a high school student, if you're an Ontario student, maybe somewhere else in Canada, or maybe in another country. That will just help us get you the best possible information. So all of my friends who are from Western are here today and will do their best to answer all of your questions. We may stick around afterwards and answer a few of them as well, but we are going to start things off with a poll. So you're here because you're thinking about your future and what university you might attend. Oh, sorry, we launched the wrong poll here. We are going to be asking you about what is the most important to you while you are considering where you're going to join, what university you're going to go to. Maybe it is the programs that you can study or the career prep that you're going to get, campus and student life, or maybe some of the opportunities to get involved both at university and in the community. Going to give everyone a little bit more time to answer. Lots of stuff pouring in here. It looks like programs are far and away the most popular choice that you are all looking at when deciding what the most important thing is for a university, followed closely by, well, not closely, followed by career preparation, but programs has a solid lead. Okay. Well, thank you for everyone who participated in that poll. This is, I know, for a lot of you, a very exciting time learning about all the different places that you may go study at. It's a really fun time for a high school student, for a possible university transfer student, for whatever your situation is. This can be exciting, but it also can be a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of a framework of questions that you can ask yourself when looking at any university to help find the right place for you. We're going to cover the topics that you've probably already been considering, as well as introduce you to things you should be thinking about that you may not have thought of before. So we are going to use the word place to ask ourselves, what is the right place for you? And this is how we're going to break it down. P is for passions, L is for location, A is for academics, C is for community, and E is for experience. So we're going to start right at the beginning with the P for for passion. So you need to ask yourself, what are you passionate about? Whether that's inside, outside the classroom, who are you when you're not in class? And what activities do you think give you a purpose and a passion and kind of motivate you to excel? What happens in the classroom is important. It's kind of the first stepping stone for why you're going to university, but there are so many things outside of the classroom that make up your university experience. You want to choose a university that are going to give you the opportunities to not only continue the activities you already love doing, but also give you the chance to explore new ones. So maybe for you, that means being involved in clubs. And luckily at Western, we have over 200 student clubs. Some are based on political interests, different cultural groups. Others are based on hobbies, and some are based on academic goals. I can guarantee that if you have a hobby or an interest, there is almost guaranteed certainty that it is a club at Western already. And if it isn't, you have the opportunity to start your own club. Maybe you're passionate about music. You don't have to be in the music program to be involved in music at Western. We have ensembles and choirs that are open to all Western students. And if you are looking for a place to practice an instrument or sing or anything like that, each residence has a music practice room. Maybe you're really passionate about giving back to the community and volunteering. There are several chapters of the nonprofits that you may have in your community that are both at Western's campus and the community as well in London. But besides volunteering in your own backyard, there are opportunities for you to make an impact globally. Lots of travel opportunities for volunteer experience within most Western programs. Maybe you're passionate about sports. We have a very large sports community at Western. We have over 40 varsity teams, many which you can have their open tryouts for. We also have one of the largest intramural programs in the countries with over 20 different intramural sports at two different levels. The recreational, if you're looking just to, get some exercise and have fun, or the competitive level if you still want that competition, but aren't really looking for that varsity commitment. So make sure that you're taking time to think about what you're passionate about or what you might be passionate about, and make sure that whatever university you're going to be looking at will help you continue to grow those passions. So the next on our acronym is L for location. So what is important to you in a city? You're probably going to spend at least a few years in the city that you want to go to university. And it's kind of time to start thinking about things like, do you want a large city to live in? Do you want a smaller city? Are you looking to stay close to home? Are you thinking that being close to home does not sound like a great idea and you really want to get out and explore? Those are all things you should really be considering at this point while looking at universities. So London, if you haven't been before, is located in southwestern Ontario. We have a very diverse population of over 400,000 people. It has all the amenities of a big city, but still feels quite small, and it is a great place to be a student. London's nickname is the Forest City. There are over 200 parks for you to explore, lots of areas where it doesn't even feel like a city at all. Peaceful trails by the Thames River, a lot of which actually run right through Western. So there's lots of ways to explore the green space, both on and off campus. We are located right in the middle of southwestern Ontario. So it's close to the big city like Toronto, but far enough away that that hustle and bustle doesn't really creep into London. We are also located directly in between two of Ontario's Great Lakes, which means that you are close to the beaches at both Lake Huron and Lake Erie on a nice hot fall day or in the summer. London's also an easy city to get around, especially as a student, because you get a bus pass included in your tuition. There's at least 10 different buses that come onto Western's campus and take you pretty much anywhere you want in the city. And when it's time for you to leave the city to go visit your friends and family, we are easily accessible by bus, by train, or by plane. But you might not be too eager to be leaving London when you're here because there is lots to do, especially as a student. London has a very vibrant downtown core with restaurants, cafes, different markets, lots of shopping. There are lots of professional sports teams, including hockey, basketball, and baseball, and several concert venues like the newly named Canada Life Place and the London Music Hall, active arts community with theater, live theaters, and art galleries all throughout the city, as well as a art gallery at Western itself, if that is something that interests you. As a student, you get to experience it all. Western students make up about 10% of London's population at any given time, and many local businesses offer deals and promotions and discounts to make it affordable for you to kind of check everything out. So we've learned a lot about the city of London, but that's really only half of what you should be considering when you compare the location. You should also be looking at the university campus itself. So what's important to you in a campus? Do you want it to be large? Do you want it to be small? Do you want an open campus where it's spread out throughout the city? Or do you want one that's contained where everything you need is within one place? What amenities do you need? Are there things that you're going to need access to on a pretty consistent basis that you're hoping that the university has? These are things you'd all be considering when looking at universities. So at Western, our campus is large. We have about 40,000 students, but I like to say that it's a big place that feels very small once you're here. Western campus is contained, meaning you are not going to be taking classes all throughout the city. You're not going to be living in different residence buildings that are spread out across London. Everything that you could possibly need is at London. We operate kind of like a small city. We have a grocery store, we have restaurants, we have a hair salon, we have a medical clinic, we have an optometrist. We have all of the things that you could possibly need all within Western's main gates. The architecture at Western is also a mix of modern and historic buildings, really something for everyone's taste. But you'll also be living in both modern and historic buildings when it comes to your residences. So at Western, we have 12 residence buildings that you could live in your first year within three different styles. Traditional is the most economical and has the strongest community feel. It's probably what a lot of you are thinking of when you think of a university experience in residence. You in a room with someone else on a shared floor with shared washrooms. We have our suite style, which is really like living in an apartment. If you want that independence, you want the ability to cook for yourself, you want a little bit more privacy, that might be an option to consider. And we also have our hybrid style, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a mix of the two styles, great for that community feeling, but also a little bit more privacy. Um, Almost all of our residents have something like the dining hall, and the ones that don't are steps away from ones that do. They have fitness facilities, music rooms, and study rooms in all of our residences. And if you want to live in residence and you're coming right from high school and you are under the age of 21 and not married, you have a spot in residence that is guaranteed. All right. I've talked a lot at you in a not a long period of time. So to recap, we've explored your passions and we've looked at your location as two things to keep in mind when you're comparing universities. So let's move on to what the majority of you said was the most important thing when considering universities, academics. There are a few things to consider when you're looking at academics at a university. Does the school have the program that you want and the flexibility to maybe take other things that you're interested in? What are the requirements to take those programs? What's it like to learn at university and what are the classes going to be like? So we're going to start with programs. And at Western, you have a lot of choice. We have a lot of first entry programs, meaning the ones that you apply to right out of high school and start in your first year. Then we have our second entry programs, which this is typically your second university degree, things like education, law, medicine, dentistry. We have all of those at Western, and those are things that you can study after you've completed that undergraduate degree. So let's look at Western's first entry programs, the ones that you can apply to now. We have over 100 different programs, and they fall under a different faculty. So on the screen, you'll see the names of faculties and programs. At Western, sometimes you apply to a faculty, other times you apply directly to a program. You could apply to the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, or if you're really interested in studio arts, you can apply directly to that program within Arts and Humanities. You can apply to Faculty of Engineering, Family Studies and Human Development, Foods and Nutrition, Health Sciences, Media and Communication Studies, Kinesiology, Management and Organizational Studies, Medical Sciences, and then you can also apply for both the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Music within our Faculty of Music. Just a few more, I promise. And then your final options are nursing, the Faculty of Science, as well as direct entry to computer science. So while computer science is a program within the Faculty of Science, it is something you would apply directly to out of high school. And we have the Faculty of Social Science. That was a lot I just gave you all at once. Luckily, all of this information is online at the website at the bottom of the screen there. So at Western, you'll majority of the time apply to the faculty, which are the titles with the dark circles by them, and that gives you the option to study any of the programs in that faculty. Then within some of those faculties are the direct entry programs, which means you apply directly to them, and those are the ones on the screen with the lighter purple circle. There are so many options to choose. I could not go into all of the programs that we offer within all of our faculties. We would be here well later than any of us want to be. So if you go to welcome.uwo.ca/programs, the website at the bottom of your screen there, that will give you a full list of all of our programs. For now, though, we're going to hear about some of our current students and why they chose the particular program that they're studying in.
Hi, my name is Taya, and I am a fourth-year student in MIT. I love my program because it allows me to combine my interests of media and business together in the marketing and advertising realm, and I love to learn about the way that culture and mass media affect the way that we think and act. This program is so flexible. Students at MIT have interests in politics, journalism, advertising, artificial intelligence, social justice, graphic design, web design, video production, and so much more. And both the theory and hands-on courses allow students to really take the path that they love and that fits the best for them.
Hi, my name is Hamza. I'm a third-year health sciences student, And I'm sure you've heard a lot about health sciences. It combines both the natural sciences and the social sciences, so you get a more holistic view on healthcare. Couple of cool facts about it. If you stick around long enough in health sciences, you can have a cool opportunity of going to Scandinavia to study the healthcare system there and maybe even get an internship there as well.
Hi, my name is Devansi. I've always loved plants and animals, and that's a big reason why I chose to do biology under the Faculty of Science here at Western. I'm headed into my fourth year now, and with all my elective courses over the years, I'm actually also in progress to complete a minor in one of my other favorite subjects, art history and studio art.
All right, so that's what Taya, Hamza, and Devanshi chose. But what about you? What is it that you're thinking you might be interested in? So we're going to start another poll. What is it that you want to study when you're at Western? Are you interested in the arts and humanities, maybe business, whether that be at our Ivy School of Business or through dam management, computer science, engineering, health science, media and communication studies, nursing, music, science, medical science, social science. So many choices. What are you interested in? Let us know. Looking like a nice mix out of the 100 and almost 30 of you that are participating. Nice mix across. The most popular ones are the ones that are usually the most popular. Our businesses, our sciences, our social science for sure. Okay, well, thank you all, for those of you who participated. So, the nice thing about Western and being in a Western program is that if you still have no idea what you want to study, that's totally fine. You're going to have a common first year to help you decide what you would like to pursue heading into your second year. So, we're going to kind of go over what that means. For example, if you get an offer for arts and humanities, health sciences, kinesiology, science, social science, and media and communication studies, you are going to have a lot of flexibility to explore. You're going to take courses for the subjects that you're most interested in, as well as some electives. And then after first year, you might want to mix and match programs from different faculties like science and arts, and you can totally do that. If you get an offer for engineering, medical science, music, and nursing, you have less flexibility in that first year, but you still get to really focus on the field that you're starting in with fewer electives. But that's not going to stop you from combining degrees and modules. You just have a little bit less flexibility when it comes to building your timetable. Even though you'll have a common first year, everyone is going to have to pick a major subject of interest or subject of major interest, whatever the wording is on OUAC. Don't worry, that's not a commitment to that program. You're not locked in. It just lets us see what everyone's interested in and allows us to sort of tailor the emails that we'll be sending you throughout the year based on whatever it is you're the most interested in. If you're finding that this is a lot of information, you are correct. It is. Don't worry, don't stress about it. We're going to kind of help you figure out all of this program stuff along the way. So we actually have an entire program over the summer devoted to just helping you transition to university. It's called Western Launch, and the whole idea is to really help you feel confident starting your first year. You can get guidance from an advisor on programs and courses. You can make new friends who are going to be starting at the same time as you and explore campus. Take online modules to kind of brush up on the things you learned in grade 12. And you even have the option to stay overnight in one of our residence buildings to really get that first year feel. And don't worry, it's all free. And we're going to tell you about this before next summer. So it's not like I'm expecting you to memorize this now and be ready for it. We're going to tell you all about it again come summertime. One last thing about programs. If you are looking for a little bit of an extra challenge, you may consider one of our enriched programs. There's scholars electives, so you'll do your own undergraduate research, take exclusive seminar classes alongside your courses in arts and humanities, science, medical science, health sciences, kinesiology, or social science. And you can even live with your classmates in the scholars elective program in a living and learning community in one of our residences, which is Elgin Hall. If you have a final average of 90% or higher coming into your first year, you maybe want to consider Western Scholars. You'll join a community of high achieving students with exclusive events, mentoring, and networking. Scholars electives and Western Scholars are enriching opportunities you could choose on top of your program, but there are also specialized programs that you can apply to. So in arts and humanities, there is the School for Advanced Studies in Arts and Humanities, or SASA. It's an interdisciplinary program which emphasizes critical thinking, creativity, linguistic breadth, and community-based experiential learning. There is also a living learning community for SASA in Ontario Hall, another one of our residences. Within the Faculty of Science, you can apply for Integrated Science, or WISC for short. Like SASA, you're going to study across multiple disciplines, but this time in science. You'll collaborate with your peers to investigate society's most pressing issues like climate change or alternative energy. That's the end of all of the info about programs. It was a lot, I know, but there are some other things now that I want to switch our focus to for you to consider when comparing academics at universities. Like, what are the admission requirements? You are going to find all of the admission requirements on welcome.uwo.ca/requirements. Now your specific requirements, though, are going to depend on what you studied last and where. For an example, an Ontario high school student, an international high school student, or a university transfer student. So make sure you check the website for your specific requirements. If you're studying, let's say, in another province or in another country, if you just search that province's name and requirements, it will give you that full list on our website. Very helpful. Same with any other country that you might be studying in. So admission requirements are generally based on your grades, but some programs do require supplemental forms, profiles, and auditions as well. And we may also require proof of English language proficiency if English isn't your first language, which you can show us by doing a standardized test. If you are an Ontario high school student, Group A, the OUAC application deadline is January 15th. And for all other applicants, you are in Group B. Western's equal consideration deadline is February 15th, but we recommend that everyone applies by mid-January. Just give you extra time to complete anything else you might need for your program, like supplemental forms, and it gives you the time to get all of your documents into us if we require any. So for Ontario high school students, we give offers in rounds, which typically start end of November and go all the way until the end of May. And after you apply, your application will be looked at for every round, and offers for all other applicants go out on a rolling basis. It depends on when we receive your documents. So if you're in that Group B and you have outstanding documents to send us, make sure you do that as soon as you can. All right, there's one more part of academics to consider when choosing university, and that is, what is it like to learn? What are the classes going to be like? What are my professors going to be like? Whether the classes are big or small, you are going to be engaged with your professors and classmates at Western, and here's how.
One of the ways that we, I think, really clearly engage the students is in our collaborative course design. We collaborate with the students in the class to design the course.
One of the most valuable results of these collaborations is a new kind of relationship between faculty and student.
The students choose if they want to do a group presentation or an individual presentation, if they want to do a community engaged learning project where they go out and find a partner in the community and work with them.
I can engage the students to help create the environment, and then they feel more accountable to their own learning.
Sometimes I think I've really succeeded if I'm able to bring their calculus lecture into their dinner time. Something really interesting and engaging has happened.
But these partnerships really emphasize common goals and complementary skill sets, and can be really quite transformative for everyone.
My name is Lindy.
My name is Tom.
And I teach.
So those were professors who often have larger classes, those stereotypical big classes that you might think of, especially for your first year courses. But you can see that they're very engaged and involved with all of their students. You're not just a number at Western. Your professors will get to know you. They'll care about you and your success. Now we're going to look at what a smaller classroom size might be like if you're
I'm kind of a weirdo in my own department here at Western. I almost never lecture. I am a big fan of turning the tables and asking students to participate in the learning process. For me, that means that they are actively learning, and in fact, I'm actively learning, and we're all co-creating knowledge together. One of the most important ways that I sort of test to see if students are actually engaged is by asking them, do you need more of this from me or less of this from me? These activities, are they working for you or do you hate them? And I get that that can be scary especially if you're the kind of teacher who relies on very set prep. But I am a real proponent of finding ways that suit you as a teacher to invite your students to give honest feedback and then to demonstrate to them that you're willing to receive it and incorporate it. And if you do that, they will trust you and they will appreciate it to no end. My name is Kim and I teach.
So no matter how big or small your classes are, your professors are eager to know you, to teach you, and to let you get involved and really have a say in your own education. All right, so we've gone through passions, location, and academics. Now we're going to talk about the C, which stands for community. So on your screen now is our president, Alan Shepard, welcoming first-year students during orientation week, or as we like to call it, O Week. And O Week brings everyone together to help you get settled into your new home. You're going to make connections with other first years and find support from upper year mentors. There's programming for everyone, whether you are on campus or off campus. O Week is the best opportunity for you to really experience what your time at Western is going to be like. We have concerts and sporting events, barbecues, community outreach events, and so much more. We'll help you settle in socially, but also academically. You'll be introduced to all the resources that you need to achieve your goals and find that academic success you're looking for in your first year at Western. So when you're thinking about community at university, you're going to want to ask yourself, am I going to fit in? How will I be involved? How will I be supported? And how am I going to thrive? That last one's especially important. You're not looking to just get by when you're at university, but you're really looking to how you can thrive and be the most successful person you could possibly be while at university. Whether you need any supports for any aspect of wellness, like your physical, emotional, intellectual, interpersonal, spiritual, environmental, the list goes on and on. We have the supports for you that are readily available for you as a Western student. Whether you need help figuring out your student loans and finances, getting the nutrition and physical activity you need, or exploring careers, your wellness should not only be your top priority, but it's ours as well, and we are here to help. We've even built a new facility on campus so you can find everything you need in one place. And when it comes to meeting your new community, there's also plenty of ways to get involved, from peer mentorship to extracurriculars. All right, we are almost there now. We've got through the first 4 letters of that acronym. Let's get to that last one, that E, experience. When you're thinking about experiences, ask yourself, how will I be able to develop career-related skills before I graduate? What opportunities am I going to have to try new things? A lot of you probably think for experiences, you're thinking like co-op. And co-ops are a great way to gain career experiences. You know, you alternate terms of school and employment, but they're not the only way. We have 5 signature experiences at Western, and they include education abroad, entrepreneurship opportunities, project-based learning, research, and then that work integrated learning like a co-op, a practicum, or an internship. At Western, you're going to have an opportunity to gain experience no matter what your program is. Some experiences start as early as second year, and you can mix and match multiple experiences to make your degree work for you. But the possibilities are pretty endless for you as a Western student when it comes to one of these 5 signature experiences. What are you going to gain from these experiences is also really up to you, but let's take a look at what an internship at Western could look like.
I'm Amanda. I'm in 4th year civil engineering, and I'm completing my internship at Dillon Consulting. As a student engineer here, it's my task to assist project managers, engineers, designers on the projects they're working on. And I'm part of the highway design team, so with that, it's predominantly designing the roads, the construction staging, how we will budget this, how we will actually go about constructing it. So with the 12-month internship, I was really excited to take what I learned before and even learn more, but then have the chance to do it on my own. I've met people in my summer co-ops and in my internship that have definitely helped guide me in my career and show me different paths I can take, and also provide mentorship beyond just the technical terms of teaching me things, but help me navigate the workforce. Once you go out and you actually test what you can do with the degree, you'd be surprised how many doors are open. Without actually testing out those jobs, I would have had no idea the different paths I could have taken.
So building off of that, Western actually just opened a brand new center to help you start gaining those experiences. It's called the Ronald D. Schmeichel Building for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Brand new. The official grand opening was less than a month ago. It is a fantastic place for you to gain that entrepreneurship that you might be looking for. So we're going to take a quick look inside the newest building at Western. All right, we have now made it through the word place, passions, location, academics, community, and experience. 5 great topics to think about when you're choosing what that right place is for you. But there's probably something that didn't come up over the course of this presentation that a lot of you are probably wondering about, and that is your finances. So here is a breakdown of how much it could cost to study at Western for your first year. There is also more to consider than just tuition when taking into what your first year costs could be, things like books, supply, food, and rent. These are just general numbers to give you an idea. If you want a closer estimate, try our financial resource workbook. We do understand that for a lot of you, this is probably the biggest investment you've ever made in yourself up to this point in time, and we do think that investment is very important, and we are here to help support you financially as well. We have an admission scholarship program to help you. No application required other than applying to Western. You'll automatically be considered for these based on your final grade 12 average. Although if you are looking for the scholarships that are for Black and Indigenous students, the only thing that you have to do there is self-identify on OUAC when applying, and then you'd be automatically considered for those as well. We also have a much larger scholarship that does require an application, the National Scholarship Program. If your average is over 90%, you can apply for the scholarship. You'll also need to be nominated by someone in your high school as well. That application nomination is due by February 14th. There's also the Schulich Leader Scholarship. This is for students pursuing a program in STEM, science, tech, engineering, and math. And the scholarship amount is up to $120,000. This year we had 10 Schulich leaders start first year at Western. This one also requires an application and a nomination by the end of January. If you are an international student, there are lots of scholarships options for you as well, including 2 more automatic scholarships that don't require an application. There's the 10,000 Welcome to Canada Scholarship, where this is really to kind of welcome those new students to Canada who are coming from outside of the country. If you're an international student already studying in Canada, you'll receive the Continue in Canada Scholarship. This gives you $40,000 over 4 years, plus 4 years of guaranteed residence. So that covers scholarships, the ones that are based on academic merit. We also have a whole host of external scholarships that may require an application, but you can find those at the website on the screen there. We also have bursaries for anyone who's displaying some form of financial need. There's over $26 million in bursary funding available at Western. You can apply for an admissions bursary after you apply to Western, but most students choose to apply for the bursary once they receive an offer and accept it. If you're coming from another province outside of Ontario, you could also be guaranteed an admission bursary of $3,000. All right, we're just about finished. Thank you all for hanging in with me through this. Remember, if you remember nothing else from this presentation, remember place, passion, locations, academics, community, and experience. It's a really great framework for you to consider while doing research into all of the universities that you may be applying to. We are very excited that so many of you are considering Western. We're here to help support you and make sure that you thrive when you are here. We are here to help you discover what your purpose is and the positive change that you can make in the world, what degree you should pursue, what careers are available to you, and how you can experience all of these amazing new things that university has to offer. So here are some links to help you if you would like to take a screenshot. If you want to learn more by visiting our campus, you can come to our fall preview day, which is November 17th. Outside of being a Western student, this is the best opportunity you are going to have to really experience what life at Western is. All of our campus will be open. You can go on a campus tour, see our residences, go to the faculties that interest you, meet professors, talk with current students, attend mock lectures, tour the labs that we have here. Everything will be open to you, and it is an amazing way for you to add a little bit more information to the decision that you're making right now. So thank you so much for attending today. I really appreciate it. I hope this helped you make a more informed decision as you work through this application process. We are going to stay behind in the Zoom webinar and answer some of the questions that are still in the Q&A box. If you haven't asked yours yet, please go ahead and do so. If you don't have any questions, feel free to head on out. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great night and good luck on the rest of your journey to university.